Alright, I've got 2 litters of Creme D'Argent that are 13, 14 weeks old that I need to go through and do some evaluations on. I've done a couple of evaluations on these guys so far, but I haven't actually gone through and culled anybody. It's pretty much at that time now where I need to be actually making some decisions and getting some rabbits off the food bill. So we're gonna go through these guys and see who's gonna make the cut to grow on out to 16, 17, 18 weeks and who is gonna be getting the chalk. So first up we have this one. Let's see. It is a boy. Let's get him posed up. Already he's pushing against my hand really hard. Okay, so he's not fully relaxed. His elbow's on the ground. Okay, so he's got a longer shoulder. You can see how long he is from the base of his neck to when he starts to rise through his back. So I really don't like his shoulder. His undercolor is pretty good. He's like a little lighter than I would want, but he's not awful. But the important thing is he doesn't have any sliding. His ears are a little smutty, but not too bad. So I wouldn't really worry about it. But I hate that shoulder. Like, that is absolutely atrocious. And this high point is a little early. I would prefer if it was just a little further back, but it's not bad. But really the shoulder right here is why he would be a cull. He's a little hippie. Sometimes it's hard to tell on these guys on camera just because of the coat. But he's just barely hippie. It's not bad. Let's see if we can get you a rear view. We're a little close. But you can see, you know, he's not too hippie. He doesn't really have any like big hollows around him. But I catch just a little bit. You can see his feet are a little bit in a V there. He's a little pinched. So overall, this guy's just not going to be worth keeping. Also, looking at him from the top down, he's just kind of narrow. Like, his shoulders are narrow. He doesn't feel particularly sturdy. There's just not really a whole lot of good points that would make him worth to keep growing out. Pretty sure this one's also a boy. Good boy. I can already tell just about looking at him, and I think you guys can see it there. Hippie. Getting his elbows on the table. His shoulder's better than his brother's. It's not as long, but if you look at him from the top, he's got a nice thick shoulder. He's really thick shoulder, but immediately right there, just dagger hips. I think if I show you from the back, you'll be able to see. Now I do like he feels pretty wide down to the table. He doesn't feel like super narrow, but just the hippiness. Yeah, you can see he's got a better shoulder, but it's still long. Still just not as compact as I would like. Much wider shoulder though, but just that is awful. Let's see if I can show you. Now see, here he looks pretty pinched. Yeah, maybe it's pinched. See, I don't think it's showing up because it's crazy because he doesn't really have like a hollowness to his loin. He's just catching here. I think you can see like how much I catch on his hips. Like, I could push his whole body back just on his hips alone. It's insane. He's got good clean undercolor, but this guy's gonna be a cull. I'm flipping him over. Calm. You can see he V's. He V's just a little bit too far. He's not as bad of a V as his brother, but he's just kind of got a narrower base. So, yeah. It felt wide to the table when I was first handling him, but no. It's a lie. It's a bit narrow. Alright. Alright. This should be a doe. I'll double check that. Yep. It's a girl. Just putting my hands on her, she feels a lot more of a thicker, sturdier animal. She's still a little narrower in bone than I'd say I'd like, but she's not bad. She's still a little hippie, but not as bad as her brother, and I actually think she'll fill in. She doesn't have her elbows fully on the table. Okay. Still not the biggest fan of that shoulder, but she's not bad. A little longer than I would like. She's not super, super compact, but she's definitely going to be one that I keep growing out. So like I said, these guys are like, I want to say they're 14 weeks. I just, yeah, that dip in that long shoulder. Said a bit of a hippiness, but not too bad. But I think she's gonna be worth growing out. She's a little lighter in undercolor. She doesn't carry the orange quite as deep down as I would like, but she's not horrific. I love that she just wants to sit here. I love that. She peaks a bit early in her high point, right around here. Again, you'd want it just a little further back. See how she kind of peaks and then slopes? I get that comment a lot. It's what it is. We'll work on it. But overall, I'm not in love with her, but I'm not hating on her. If it was a boy, I'd probably hate on her more, but honestly, girls get more leeway. She's got a good shoulder from the top view. And you can see she is much, much wider than the two bucks. So I do like that. She's got that going for her. Oops, sorry, girl. So we'll keep growing her out. See what happens. And then here is the last girlie in this litter. So this girl I actually did take to a show. So I've already gotten some comments on her. Just putting your hands on her, she feels thick. She's nice. Her coat is nice. I love her coat. She has a little bit more intensity to that orange. She still doesn't carry it as deep as I would like, but the intensity of the color is really nice. Like as you, I don't think you can see it on the camera, but as you push your hands back, you get like a really nice little orange undertone there. So I really like that about her. I like the darkness she carries on her head too. Okay. She's much stronger shoulder. I think I have like kind of a bad angle here. We want her elbows on the ground. She's not with us. She's not fully relaxed, so she's kind of pushing up against me. Calm down. I know, the stress of it all. But she's so thick, like her shoulder is crazy thick. There we go, relax back. That's better. So she's still looking a little long here. She needs to pose up, but she's really tense. She's really fighting me. Her high point is too far forward, 1000%. Even if she was to actually relax and calm down a little bit, her high point's going to be too far into the middle of her back. It would need to move further back. I don't really catch on her hips. She fills out a lot more. She just feels smooth as you're running your hands over her. She feels pretty decent to the table. I wish I could get her into like a good pose, but she's just like, no. She just wants to stick her head like way out. There you go. She's gonna be one that needs a lot of posing practice, which is something that I hate. There you go. Normally I don't like rabbits, so when they like fight, push against my hand, but I actually, thank you, I want her to push backwards because all she's doing is leaning against my hand. Okay, that's a bit better of a representation of her. You can see high point too far into the middle of her back. She's kind of got that flat point right here where she slopes down, but I really like her. I'm definitely going to keep growing her out. Like I said, I've already shown her once, so she's going to be one to keep. I mean, I hate taking this thing off, but I just want to show you what I mean by like she's nice and like full up from the top, and you can see she's got nice wide shoulders. Like I really like the top profile of this girly, so she's gonna keep on keeping on. We will grow her out some more. All right, time to go switch these guys out and get the other ones out. Let's get started on the second litter. This should be, I think, 3 girls and 1 boy. I know for sure 2 girls. I haven't looked at the other one in a while, but I'm pretty sure it's girls. This is the one. Yep, girl. Where you go? I would say the first thing, she's big. I like that. She's got that going for her. She's a big girl. Her ears are a little smutty. She's got her mama's head. This one line of rabbits, I hate their heads. But it is what it is. Head's not the most important part. Yeah, not a fan of her undercolor. Her coat's really nice, but she's very smutty on her ears. She goes out pretty nice. See, from this, she doesn't look too bad. She feels out nice. She feels okay at the table, but her undercolor is just a very, I don't think I'm going to say it even I did it up close, just the barest hint of slating in her undercolor. So that is like a very light, it can get dark, it can get real dark. But she has just a very hint of, let's see if I think I probably need better. I don't even think you can see it, it's so light. Maybe you can see it on the tail. The barest hints of that slating. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna come through on camera because it's very light. If I wasn't somebody who was absolutely obsessed with checking undercolor, probably wouldn't even notice it. Like if I just did this and just looked at it real quick, I wouldn't pay any attention to it. And the crazy thing is, depending on the judge, even if I took her to a show, they probably won't catch it. I wouldn't do that on purpose, but probably won't catch it. So either way, she's a cull, which sucks, because she actually is nice. And now you might be saying, you could just sell her as like a meat animal. I could, in theory, right? But slating is a breed, it's actually right here. Color, 20 points on colors for these guys. And a disqualification from competition, slate coloring in surface or undercolor. So it is a disqualification. I will not sell animals with disqualifications, even just as meat animals. I just don't personally like it. You can't control what happens to that animal's offspring later on down the road. So it's not something that I will personally do. Which sucks because she's really nice. Like, she fills out so nice. She's a nice, thick, big sized girl. But what are you gonna do about sliding? So again, peaks early. They all do. Not surprised. She's got a much shorter shoulder, but she's still a little longer than I would like. Nice, thick shoulders. Beautiful hind end. I'm not catching on her hips at all. And she's got good bone, but it is what it is. Because I find it funny. Look at this. Well, they look closer in size now that I have them beside each other. But there's still a pretty decent size difference between these two girls. If I had to guess, she's probably like half a pound or so heavier. Which sucks. That's how it works. If you like a rabbit a lot, that's going to be the one that dies. Or if it's like really sweet, it's going to be really ugly. Oh, sorry girl. Okay. I accidentally hit her in the face with my hand. I'm sorry. So this is a girl that I actually did take to a show, but I kind of just took her because I needed another rabbit to take to the show. Don't think I'm really the biggest fan of her. Again, looking at her from the top hand view, there's a pretty significant difference between her shoulders and her hind end. She's hippie, so I am catching on her hips here. Her shoulder looks okay because she's got her head way up, right? If I had her head down to the table, which is how, like, most of the time if you're seeing judges, like, they're gonna have their head down to the table, she just looks way longer. And even as she picks her head up, you can see she's kind of got this dip here in her shoulder. So I'm just really not a fan of that. But again, I like her. I don't like her hips, right? But I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't like her, but I think I'm gonna keep growing her out. I like her head a lot better. I feel like maybe she'll just grow into herself a little more. Maybe she'll grow out of this hippiness. Looking at her from behind, let's see. I really posed the camera up a little too close. She doesn't want to cooperate because she's at the end of the table. I know, I'm not going to drop you from the table, girl. I'm going to show you this way. You can see it a little bit here. She has a little bit of a dip here, a little bit of a dip there. But it's just a little bit. It's not too bad. But not my favorite. My favorite's still the other dove from the other litter. But I think I'll keep growing her out. She can at least go to 16 weeks. So she's got straight legs. She's got straight legs. But she's just still a little bit narrower than I would like. But they're straight, so that is a plus. So, I think we'll grow her out. She can't take it back once you do it. Alright, let's do the last one. He's big. I like that. He's heavy. I didn't check the undercolor on the other doe because I know she's clean. I literally took her to a show. Which again, sometimes judges do miss that, but I knew she was clean. He's got clean ears. No smuttiness on his ears at all. Ew, look at that. I haven't squished him up yet, but he likes to be in this pose. Any further than this, and he's gonna start popping his shoulders up off the ground. Because he's long. He's a long boy. Yeah, see, look, his shoulders are already popping off the ground. Super long shouldered animal. Very flat. He's ugly. He's ugly all the way around. He's got nice shoulders. Again, nice, super wide shoulders. Really hippie, catching on those hips. I'd say out of all of them, he's the less full in the loin, so he's got like a dip here. High point, super, super far forward high point. It would need to move back quite a bit. And again, he's just long, very long. I feel like these guys don't look as bad when I look at this camera as they do in person. But just look at this dip right here in his shoulder. I really like his orange, but yeah, he's gonna be a colt. There's absolutely no reason to keep a mediocre buck. All right. The last one, I took him to the show as well. I love how orange this guy is. He carries his orange like really, really far into his fur too. It's so nice. That could continue to change as he grows, but at least at this particular point in time. Nice. He's not really hippie. I'm not really catching on his hips at all. Again, he's got this ugly head. Absolutely atrocious head, but he's got a new cage mate on the other side of his cage. And it looks like biting his whiskers. I had to put a divider up. Okay, I can already tell just by the way he's stiff. As soon as I scrunch him up, he's gonna fight me. He's one of those ones that's really gonna push forward into my hand when you want them to push backwards. Yeah, because he's gonna just bunch up his shoulders. So if I can get him to pose, he'll look really nice. Okay, there we go. Good boy. There we go. Again, peeked too far early. They all do. But I like him. He's got a super, super thick shoulder. He's still a little longer than I would ultimately like. Longer in the shoulder. But he feels so nice. Like, he feels super thick. I run my hands over him. I'm not catching on anything. He feels full to the table. Looking at him from behind, he doesn't have any big dips. So that shoulder is super full. I'll show you the top view for him, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll show you top view. Okay. Top view from this guy. Again, these guys are right around 14 weeks. So really, really nice top view. Here's a rear view for him. You can see he fills out really nice. I really like him. I think he's gonna be, I've been breeding Creme D'Argents for 3-4 years now, and I've kept one buck, and I don't even like that one. The other buck that I have is an outside line buck. He's who I've been breeding to. Before that, I had a different outside line buck. So I have never kept, or I have only kept one buck that I have bred, and I don't like him. I bred to him once, just kind of more as an experiment to see what he throws. That litter's on the ground. We'll see what happens. Probably not going to like them either. So I'm really hoping to actually be able to keep a replacement buck. But I always joke, I can't breed boys. I don't know what it is. I can breed Toronto boys, but I cannot breed Creme D'Argent boys. I think all of them are absolutely hideous. So he's the first one that I'm actually like, I really, really like him. Which I should not say. I need to go knock on some wood, because as soon as you say you like a rabbit, something's going to happen to it. But I like him. I'm going to definitely keep growing him out. So out of the eight that I looked at, gonna keep this one boy. I might do one more pass through on the boys. Probably not, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 other litters on the ground right now, and all of those does are bred back, so I'm not too pressed about it if I like don't keep one of the other boys. So I think I'll keep him. And of the does I looked at, I'm for sure keeping Rose. That's one of the does I took to the show. I'll definitely keep the other doe that I took to the show, even though I'm kind of hemming and hawing on her. The slate doe is gonna be going, so I'll probably try to keep three or four of the does just for now. to keep growing them out to like 16, 17 weeks and see where they're at. He's gonna stay, and I think all the other boys are gonna go, honestly. I don't think there's really a point to keep growing them out past 14 weeks. So yeah, now I need to take a look at some Trianta, because I have so many Trianta babies right now, which is definitely not something to complain about, because they can be a breed that's difficult to breed. But, and I need to go through those guys too. There's a couple rabbits in the cage behind me that are like 10 weeks old, so I need to go through those guys as well, at least for first round. I normally don't do any culls unless they're just egregious, until like 12 weeks, which does suck as far as like your food bill goes, but it is what it is. So we'll do some processing this weekend, get some bunnies off the feed bill, and we'll keep going these guys out. I have a show in a couple of weeks, so I'm hoping to take at least 3 Creme D'Argents, hopefully more, because hopefully I can take some of those guys, because they'll be right around 13, 14 weeks old at that point in time. And then I'm hoping to take some Red New Zealands and some Trianta, so it'll be good. But I'm really liking some of the traits of these guys. The high points all need to move back. I wish they were all a little bit more compact, but I'm really liking how my rear ends are starting to come together, and some of the other problems that I had been dealing with, like slate. I know I have one rabbit with slate, but I had issues where I had to cull. I think one year I literally had to cull like 90% of my rabbits because of slating. I've pretty much eliminated that. I mean, the fact that I literally only have one rabbit and she barely has slate. All of these other guys are clean. I think I'm pretty close to getting that completely out. And it's something that I've been culling hard for, and only breeding and keeping clean coated animals. But I'd like to shorten up the ears. That's not important, but like these ears are so long, which Florida animals, so I guess it makes sense that we have a little bit longer ear than some of our northern counterparts. I like the width of my shoulders. I don't have, well, I shouldn't say that. I still get some animals that are long and lanky, right? But I'm getting more and more animals that are beefier and stockier, and that is what you want. You just want to see progress moving forward. So I'm seeing those really nice, thick shoulders, even if they're a little longer than I'd like. And I'd rather have thicker, slightly longer shoulders than like shorter, very narrow shoulders. So pick your battles, keep moving forward. But that's it. We're gonna put these guys back, and I think I'm gonna do some health checks on these other guys. So, ready to go back? Yeah, he's ready to go back.